Welcome to Deep Thought. So much negative energy out here. I chuckled a little bit, but you know how you like chuckle at something, but you shaking your head and you kind of laughing from crying. That's the situation out here. I mean, the negativity is powerful. I'm gonna tell you what, cause y'all know, like in this section of YouTube, I'm just gonna call it out. A lot of negativity. Y'all notice I don't get involved in any streams or anything. Y'all notice. Or it's very rare. And I almost, even then when somebody get me on there, I have to know them. And they have to tell me what the subject is first. And, there was one time I was on a live stream. And there was somebody in the comments who was trying to take stuff in another direction. I stopped and called them out. I said, look, hold up. No, we're not doing that on this stream. I ain't even had control over that stream, but I was the one said. I said, no, we not doing that on this stream. Say that for another time because we were in high level conversation. This was some deep stuff. This was some deep stuff we were in. So I was like, no, I don't have time for it. But you see it a lot, and and that's not even counting the negativity out here with the protest, people protesting the negative behaviors, negative history and everything. I ain't even counting that. Or everything around the virus. I ain't even counting that. Let's just say we didn't have a protest. Let's just say we didn't have a virus. It was normal. And we would still have negativity. And it's so much energy. People, let's not pretend like everything was hunky-dory before this virus hit or before the protest happened. Let's not do that, okay? But it's just out there, social media. You got, these live streams. You got men and women going at each other anyway. Men going at other men. I'm like, man. And I'm going to tell you what. Understand something about human beings. We're affected by how others behave. Understand something. Let me go deep. It's an energy thing. It's an energy thing. We're affected by other people's energy. It's like, for example, right? Say you in a room with a group of people, right? And y'all could be sitting there and be quiet. And then someone comes in and they just start talking about negative subjects, negative topics and stuff. Within a few minutes, everybody in there is going to have their heads down because they're going to start adding to it. That energy starts to spread. It's like if you got a clear bowl, say you have a bowl, and it could be a clear bowl. You can see it everything, a clear bowl. You got some water in it. The water is very clear. And you just drop some dye in it. Not even a lot of dye, just a little bit of dye. Just a little bit. You just drop a little bit of dye in there. All of a sudden, the whole thing takes the color of that dye. Say the dye is green. It takes it, takes that color, red, whatever, black. It'll take that color, right? Say you use some black dye, the color black. You drop it in that clear water. It becomes that whole thing. Or, you drop something that's just dirt. It becomes that whole thing. It's the same thing with energy. So if someone walk in a room with that negative energy, boom, they take that on. But let's use the dye example again. Instead of dropping some black dye in a clear bowl of water, you drop some orange dye in there where it becomes orange. So an analogy, like if a person, like you have a group of people, they sitting there quiet, somebody come in and they fired up, they happy and everything. All of a sudden, a few minutes, everybody else is going to be happy in there, right? We're affected by that. We're affected by others' behaviors, whether we like it or not. No matter how much we call ourselves a monk, you're affected by it. Now, you might have enough strength. To fight it off, but it takes energy to fight it off. Even when you in those things, sometimes you can dip in there a little bit, but you gotta come out of that. But it's so much negative energy. And like I said, it's a myriad of things. It's not just what's going on. We got a lot of negative energy from relationships. Very, very few people are in the relationships they want to be in. Like you have a very tiny percentage of men and women who are in that relationship with the person that they're just genuinely happy with. And then on another level, you have a few more, you have some more people. They in a relationship, but they ain't happy. Well, you know what? They content. Deep down, they wish they could be better, but they can live with what they got. And then even worse, you got some people in a relationship and they really don't like each other. Now, someone would think that's contained. No, it's not. Say you in an apartment building or something. You got that one negative couple who's always fussing and fighting, they loud, everything, and even complaining to building management doesn't do anything. That eventually affects everything else because, see, here's how energy works. It looks for like energy. So, okay, you have a couple in a building, right? They always fighting. Any issues with any other couples in that building or just any other people, it starts to affect them. Or affect them. I'm sorry. Wrong tense. It starts to affect them because it brings out the negative energy that was within them. Like touches like, it goes for like, that's that energy, right? Like, another example, I can tell there's a local grocery store I go to a lot, right? I noticed there's a slight change because the manager is a different manager. And I've noticed a slight change in energy, even a slight change in people in there. Now, they still genuinely friendly. I mean, they still good. They still give good customer service. But it's totally different from when the other manager was there. It's totally different. That's not a bad thing. But it's not the same because it was like a high energy when this one manager was there. High energy, like you just want to just sit in there and just stay. Now it's like you go in there, get your stuff and go. And it's not bad. Like they still give good customer service, but it's not that same vibe and everything. That's how energy is. And in fact, that particular manager, it's a woman. I mean, I know the store she's at is like a national chain. I might actually go down to where she's at now just to say, hey, how you doing? I miss you. Because it was a different energy, the way she brought the energy. And the guy who took her place, he's a good guy, friendly and everything, but it's not the same thing. His energy is more subdued. You can feel it, right? That's how energy works. But see, you got so much negative energy, it touches everyone else. That's where the problem comes in. That's where the deal is. And it's just so much out there. It's tough. It's tough to deal with, and it can affect you. Like, that's why a lot of times, I mean, I've seen this on jobs. I've seen this in social organizations, everything. I'm very sensitive to it. And I don't mean in like I'm feeling the energy, but I'm sensitive to it in the point I know to look for it. It's connected to the culture, the people in there. You can have toxic environments. In fact, sometimes they'll talk about like celebrities or something like. Now, I haven't paid attention to. Well, now there was a couple times like on movie sets, TV talk shows. They'll say, "Well, it's a negative environment, toxic environment." That's the energy. So it's very important. It's so much out there, and you got to learn. The energy is such it can even affect your health. It can even affect your health. That's very important. Because if you start feeling bad or you start going down, boom. Very important to consider. So, you know me. I'm not that person to just talk about something and walk away from it. Check out my next episode, my next couple. We'll talk about how to deal with this negative energy, okay? So, anyway, right? I want y'all to think on what I'm saying. Think about the negative energy around you, and the solutions are coming. Anyway, I'll talk to y'all later. Peace and blessings.